All signs point to this. With the meltdown on Sunday against the Chicago Bears and the defense's struggles, Al Golden, among possibly others, look to be on the hot seat. We're going to break down some reports and what it could mean for the Bengals in this remaining 2025 season. Welcome to the jungle. This is Isaac Coffman with Bengals Digest. Happy to see you Bengals fans. And if you want to get in on the discussion, make sure you're subscribed by smashing that subscribe button down below. We appreciate each one of you and your support for the channel, despite the struggles that this team has been going through recently. Now, back-to-back losses against winnable games. You can argue the New York Jets losing by a point, going up a point on the Chicago Bears within the last minute of the game. Oh, it's a frustration. I see the frustration from all the fans out there. But what does that mean? Well, it means there's a lot of heat coming the way on this defense, and for good reason. It's historically bad. There's just no question. How does defense play so badly? Poor tackling. The fundamentals just aren't there. So the reports are coming out that Al Golden should be fired. That's what you're going to be seeing a lot around when it comes to this defense. The finger pointing within the locker room. We'll get to that a little bit more. More reports of that friction. Nick has broke down about Jamar Chase. Some comments coming from him. Chase Brown. There's just not a good situation going on with that locker room. I will give credit to Zach Taylor. The one pro is having a good locker room, having guys that gel together, have that chemistry. Sometimes you don't have the most elite players, but if you play together, you can surprise people. And they have certainly not been playing like an elite team with the talent. Now that locker room is starting to kind of fade. It's just tough to see. Goes without saying that it is just something. I can't even look at the score, right? It's just unbelievable. You're saying the Bengals are going to put up 42 points and still lose. And that's where the frustration is mounting in that locker room. And that's where the finger pointing is going when it comes to what do we do from here. Now entering a bye week, Al Golden is on the hot seat. But this wouldn't be the first time that the Bengals have considered firing a coach within the season. Most of the time you see the Bengals, they move on, they wait till after the season, but don't be surprised. All the signs are there that they could move on even within the bye week, or certainly if they lose another one coming up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because there was another name I thought of with this situation. Actually, it's very similar defenses that were struggling. Back in 2018, Terrell Austin was hired to be their defensive coordinator. And what happened was he actually was the first in NFL history to have up to 500 yards 3 straight games that their defense had given up. So crazy, right? Because it's just nuts how the missed tackles continue to go on. This is what we're seeing. It was very similar when Terrell Austin, who is ironically enough with the Pittsburgh Steelers now, but when he was there, it's just mirroring the image. You see the missed tackles there. The Bengals are averaging around 10 missed tackles a game. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. You're not going to stop anybody with those kind of statistics. You want record-breaking statistics, but you don't want this kind of bad record. You want good record-breaking statistics. It's something's got to give. Well, what happened with that? Because again, with Terrell Austin, 3 straight games, first in NFL history that the defense was allowing 500 plus yards per game. Well, let's go back here. The Bears game that just happened, they gave up 576 yards. Okay. Go back to the Jets game, 502 yards given up. It's crazy, right? You're seeing a trend here. Now, the saving grace is you go back, that Steelers game, they got the victory. A big part of it is the Steelers only managed to get 396 yards. So I haven't got to that 500, but that's the question. Is it going to take having 3 straight games where your defense is allowing 500 plus yards? And that's not the problem either. I mean, they're giving up the yards, but they're just not tackling, period. They got the chunk yards, sure, but they've also got the points. Need to remind you, again, 47 points. It's just ludicrous. It's absolutely ludicrous. Crazy how bad this defense is playing. They had 50 seconds, the Bears did, to come back. They were down 1 point. 50 seconds. That was more than enough time. In fact, the Bengals had a chance to come back and still come back and win it. Joe Flacco, if he's able to get that in the end zone, you never know. You've seen stranger things happen. That's how close. Bears didn't need that much time, though. They were just able to have their way with this defense. But to kind of go back to, again, it's all pointing towards it could potentially happen. The Bengals could decide to move on. And Zach Taylor is no doubt on the hot seat for this. I think you got to look at Al Golden more than anything, though. He's the one that you're going to have to, if you're going to blame the defense, if it's not the players, TJ Hushmanzada, that's an interesting comment I saw. He doesn't blame Al Golden. He blames the players. There's definitely plenty of blame to go around. You go back to that play, that final play that the Bears ultimately were able to score on. You know, that was nothing but a player miscue, because that was where you had the guy. I mean, look at this. You have, if you were to say to someone that did not see this game, what is the end result of this play? 35-yard line. You have two Bengals guys on him, one right behind. Tell them that this ended up being a touchdown for the Bears. That's a player problem right there, not tackling. Just period. They need to get back to the basics. It sounds so cliche, but they need to get back to the basics and fast if they want to get better on this defense. One might be, though, moving on from Al Golden. Again, that might be the decision that they end up going with. And considering that this locker room, it's already becoming kind of frail. There's a report coming out here. It says the locker room is showing its cracks. The ones to laugh or decline by saying, "Catch you on Monday," were Jordan Battle, Shamar Stewart, TJ Slayton. Also declining were Chris Jenkins, and Miles Murphy. Not good. Just not good. Everything is just worst case scenario for the defense right now. And again, I go back to, if you lose that locker room, you need to move on. That's just my thought, because if you can't get a hold, if you have bad games, they're going to happen. Maybe not this bad. This is record-breaking bad. I mean, it's getting so bad. But if you lose that locker room, now something's definitely got to give. So something to keep an eye on, because, again, similar situation with Terrell Austin. He was one of the defensive coordinators that was fired midseason. Things are trending towards that direction. Now, just interesting, I was looking this up, and if you were to tell me the last 5 games, who gave up the least, who did they hold to the least amount of yardage, I would not have guessed this. But the Lions, they held them to 365 yards. Now, given the Lions jumped out to an early lead, they kind of took their foot off the pedal, but still surprising to see that you give up 502 yards to the Jets, but the Lions only put 365 yards up on you. Just crazy. Just crazy. It's getting to a point where you almost can't make this stuff up. And just stay tuned, because who knows? We're going to be seeing Al Golden's seat get hotter and hotter until this defense gets better, or ultimately he's shown the door. That's the way things are trending, it looks like. But we want to hear from you guys. What do you think? Do you think Al Golden is going to still have his job here in the next few weeks by the end of the season? What are your thoughts? Comment below and be sure to let us know how you're feeling. This has been a tough few weeks to be a Bengals fans, but we'll see what happens here. We got the trade deadline. We've got all kinds of things going on. So stay tuned. Make sure you are subscribed again to the channel so you'll see when our new videos drop. That's going to do it for now, guys. As we say, Hoo day.